Good morning, guys. Today is the 6th of November. It's a Monday. I'm riding to work, and usually I take my Tiger 1200, but not anymore since I have the Himalayan 452 with me. It's a test review unit, it's not my bike. So I'm just going to do a commuting style video where I talk about the motorcycle. Let's just start it and let it idle a little. Look at that dash, man. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. And all the information you'll ever need is on this bike. High quality motorcycle. Very high quality motorcycle. Look at the fit and finish of the exhaust. The matte finish here. Tubeless cross spoke rims, which will probably come at a later stage. It's a little dirty because, you know, I was riding in the dirt all day yesterday. Just a very quality motorcycle, and mine is completely kitted up, accessorized. So the seat can be adjusted in you know, two heights. I have it in the taller one, 845. My Tiger is at 835 right now. I can bump it up to 855, and the way that seat works, this works exactly the same way in its adjustment. Swinging a leg over, flat footing it like this is not a problem. I am 5 feet 10 inches. There is a bend in the knee. It is very comfortable at this height for me. My friends who are 5'5" and 5'7" were riding this bike at the seat height level. They did not have any problem whatsoever. The motorcycle has done 486 kilometers. 250 kilometers was done by during the media ride in Manali, and then the bike came directly from there to me. So I've done about 225 226 kilometers since then. 235 or so. Then I have these touring mirrors. So what was happening was, since, you know, the bike came without the mirrors installed in the truck, and I installed them by hand, they would keep getting loose either on trails or during high-speed runs. So what I did was added a little bit of Loctite, so hopefully now these shouldn't. Handlebar, extremely high quality, beautiful, beautiful. I love the new grips, the levers. I wish there was adjustability in them for reach, but that's an accessory that will come at some point of time. I know it's coming. Lovely 43mm show-off forks, 200 millimeters of travel. So, you know, like, the suspension is so good, it doesn't bottom out. We'll talk about that. But let's take a look over here. So you've got your RPM dial, you've got your fuel gauge. I can see the time over here, the temperature outside, ABS is on, the odo now. Look at the information available. Trip meter, I've done 237.9 kilometers. It's giving me a fuel economy of 30 kilometers to a liter. You have trip 2 over here. Fuel range, it'll still do 264 kilometers, and I've been riding hard. Fuel consumption, it gives you real-time fuel consumption. Voltage meter, service due in whatever kilometers and days, engine temperature. And yeah, so these are the information. This is the information that's available here. So I'm going to leave it at fuel consumption. You guys can take a look, and I think it's time to get going. The bike seems to be warmed up now. First gear, it slots so easily. I mean, this bike is so comfortable, you know. Okay, so comfortable. The turning radius is so generous. It is the easiest motorcycle to ride. Like, on paper, a lot of people will get scared that, you know, oh, 196 kilos, what are we going to do? Such a heavy motorcycle. Boss, it is the easiest bike that you'll ride. Easiest. Now, I'm not going to go into technical jargon and whatever, mass centralization, this chassis, that chassis. I'm not going to go into any of that. I'm not going to get into any of that. All I'm going to tell you is, how does it feel to ride? Okay. The engine revs up very quickly. The clutch feels very light because it is a slip and assist clutch. My god, such an easy gear shift. This is the first time I'm riding this motorcycle in you know, regular boots. I'm wearing office going woodland boots. Otherwise I was riding it in enduro boots so far. So the shifter feels even like I feel more I have a more of a feel from the gear shifter right now. On the enduro boots are very stiff, you know, so you sometimes don't get to feel it as much. But yeah, seat is so comfortable, man. It is narrow from the front. Knee recesses on the tank so big, your knees fit so well. Oh, and it comes with 4 modes. So this is right now ABS on, performance mode, ABS rear off, performance mode. Okay, so we are moving. Let's see if we can change the modes on the fly. 1 second, we have to go right. Let me straighten the bike and then we'll try. Mode change denied. Close the throttle and pull the clutch. Okay, let's see. I need some clearance, I need some space on the road for that. Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can change it now. Ride mode eco. Okay, I have not ridden on the eco mode so far. I think the eco mode just dulls the throttle response. That's what I've heard. I mean, it's not like there is a lack of power in this throttle mode. No, the power is all there. And this motorcycle, I forget the power, like power short. The mid-range, you know, the acceleration, the ease at which it keeps going. So I'm at 3000 RPM and it just feels so good here. I'm in the 5th gear at 3000, okay? And it just, there's just plenty, there is plenty. And it is so nimble, flickable. Now this is a long motorcycle. It's got a lengthy wheelbase, some, I don't know, 1500 whatever mm. But it's a long motorcycle, so you'd think that, you know, this bike doesn't want to change direction. But in the city like here, I can very easily do this. Like, very stable, so stable, man. Like rock stable this bike is. I have the rally optional tall windscreen on my motorcycle. I think it looks really beautiful. It's gonna keep most of the air, like it's gonna keep the air that's gonna cause turbulence off you. So your head is not gonna go like this, like on many motorcycles. Speed camera, so we'll slow down. The wind does hit you because it's so narrow. The wind does hit you on the shoulders, you know, top of the head a little, but it's not bothersome. In fact, you know, I really feel that little bit of wind should definitely hit you because you're on a motorcycle, right? Otherwise, just be in a car if you want to be completely isolated from the wind, or a Goldwing or something. This is not those motorcycles or cars, no? So yeah, and my god, like the talk of the town when riding in city like this is the torque spread. You might be in any gear, you just need to be above 2000 RPM because below that, you know, now that, you know, liquid cooled and short stroke motor, it does lack in the under 2000 RPM range. But who's gonna keep a motorcycle under 2000 RPM when you're on the move, right? Like I don't think so. I'm gonna keep it like that. How and why will I? So just notice, like I'm not gonna put in any conscious effort towards keeping it under 2000 or so, or above 2000 or so. I'm just going to ride normally, like how I would usually ride my Tiger or any other motorcycle when I go to work. So just at the start of the throttle, I'm still above 2000. So as soon as you're above 2000, it's fine. Like the torque is there, it is available. So a lot of people will talk about, "Arey, low down torque to hai nahi, 2000 ke niche." Who's gonna ride below 2000, man? At least I don't know if you do. Not me. Not me. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. Like the whole point is Royal Enfield has made a motorcycle which feels easy to ride. Like I can't stress enough of the fact that, you know, this motorcycle is the easiest motorcycle that I have ridden. It's got plenty of power to keep a person like me happy. I'm used to bigger bikes. I ride a Tiger 1200, a Street 66675, an Interceptor which, you know, is completely modded out, makes at least 55 something horsepower. So this motorcycle is keeping me happy with its performance. It's winter, so I don't know whether the engine will heat up. I mean, every engine will heat up a little, but heat up enough to bother you, I don't know. Also, I noticed earlier that, you know, the radiator fan, it comes in quite a lot in slow speeds, which again is, I mean, it's expected, right? Look at the hand position, man. The handlebar is nice and wide. My elbows have a little bit of a bend in them, so just comfortable, so comfortable. This motorcycle will fit a tall guy or even a short guy very, very, very well. You don't need handlebar risers, I feel, at my height. Anyway, I'm completely against handlebar risers. I feel there should be weight on the front. Just amazing torque, yaar. Just so bloody good. And the brakes are sharp on this bike. So I remember the old Himalayan. I had it, you know, for a little bit of time, actually about 2 years, standing at my house. My friend Jaideep's motorcycle. Big shout out to Jaideep. I never liked riding that bike because it was plagued by some issue or the other. Sometimes the rectifier unit would, you know, go kaput or something or the other. So the brakes were really bad on that bike. They would fade quite a lot, so much that when I was going to Patiala to return the motorcycle from Delhi, my god, it was such a scary experience because the brakes just stopped working after a point of time because I was so fast on the bike, 120 throughout for 250 kilometers. The brakes just gave up, and I had to slow down immensely because, again, what are you gonna do? Like, you can go as fast as you can, but you need brakes, man. The seat was rubbish on that bike. So I don't know about you guys, but that was a 2016 or a 2017 motorcycle, BS3. The seat was too soft, and after a point of time that seat would sag. This seat is nothing like that. This is a beautiful seat. It reminds me of my Tiger 1200, which is a great thing because in my opinion the Tiger 1200 is a more comfortable motorcycle than the GS 1200. That's just my opinion. It could be right, it could be wrong, but you know, the Tiger 1200 is the most comfortable motorcycle I've ridden, and this motorcycle is just about as comfortable as the Tiger 1200. Like, I don't feel cramped on the bike, man. My legs are stretched out because the seat is high, so there is no unnecessary you know, awkward bend. The pegs are neutral, neutrally set in the middle of the motorcycle. I'm very comfortable on this bike, man. Like, I can put in a 500, 600, 800 kilometer day on this bike, day after day, day after day. I can do mountain rides on this bike day after day without fatiguing, and that is what a travel motorcycle should be. You should not fatigue on the bike. You should feel confident on the bike. It should complement your riding style, and this bike does. It is so effortless, so effortless to ride. Like, what am I'm in the 6th gear. I'm doing 60 now. Let's see, 6th is completely an overdrive gear, so ideally I should be downshifting, but I'm deliberately not, just to see how we can manage in the 6th here. Yeah, man, we can manage, you know. Okay, I had to downshift now because I think I lost a lot of momentum with braking. So 5th, easy rolling. Look at how beautifully the bike just rolls. And now, so let's drop down to 50 in 5th. Oh, okay, and see how it just goes. Wow. Like, I love this acceleration. I love it. I love the torque spread. Just so good, man. This is so good. So fuel consumption 99. That's not possible, right? That is not possible. So this motorcycle on the Speedo realistically is giving me 30 maybe you know, in real life, once I do another tank full, I'll probably get to know what the mileage really is. But the Speedo indicated mileage is about 30 kilometers to a liter, which I feel is decent, because I have been pulling this motorcycle like mad on the trails. We've been belting the motorcycle in second gear, third gear, just so beautiful, man. Like, it'll do any of that and all of that. And commuting on this bike is so easy. There are no vibrations to speak of. None, like, no, none. But the engine still has a little bit of heaviness and heft to it. Like, you can feel that, you know, okay, like a Royal Enfield, the crank is slightly heavy. That it makes you feel that there is an engine underneath you, you know. So like a lot of motorcycles, some motorcycles, the crank is so light. Now, I'm not a technical guy, but it feels like the crank is so light that you don't feel it. You don't feel that, you know, that build-up of torque and it's just surging forward. And even if it's not surging forward, even if it's holding at a certain RPM, you feel that, you know, okay, the engine has something. The engine has something, and if I do this, it's gonna go. You feel that. You feel that on this motorcycle. It is so lovely, man. It's like, it's... This motorcycle, it makes me doubt the need of a big motorcycle. Like, today, if you tell me go back and ride your Tiger 1200, you know, if I have the option between this and a Tiger 1200, and if I'm going to work, I will take this any given day. If I'm going to Ladakh, I will take this any given day, because I've ridden this bike in the dirt. I've ridden the Tiger in the dirt. So if I'm doing 50-55 on the Tiger in the dirt, I would probably be doing 80 on this in the dirt. So just comparing my trail experience, this is so much faster. And the suspension, oh my god, oh my god. Rumble strips on the road, you don't feel it. You don't feel those damn rumble strips. Like speed breakers, okay, speed breakers, because they are so smooth, you know, anything will roll over. But rumble strips, they are almost vertical, the way they are designed, and multiple of them. So on other bikes, you'd probably go over them, you'd feel it. This absorbs it, man. Like, the suspension is stiffer than the old Himalayan, but it's still plush. It's the most impressive stock suspension that I have ever ridden. I mean, this suspension compares only to, like, if I would say that I have ridden a motorcycle with better suspension, ADV with better suspension, I'd say that, you know, my KTM, not an ADV, but my dirt bike, my KTM 200 EXE, that has better suspension. But then that's a dirt bike, right? With where the game is of the suspension. Here, this, you know, this motorcycle, I wouldn't even call it an out-and-out big ADV. It's a middleweight. I mean, the big is not a factor, but this ADV feels more like a dual sport motorcycle. That means it is extremely off-road worthy. And here in the city, oh my god, it is going to make a joke of your commute. It is so easy, man. I'm sitting nice and upright, so comfortable. Now, I'm not a young guy, I'm 37 years old, and to me, you know, that racy, clip down position, or even a street motorcycle with a 17-inch rim, that doesn't suit me anymore, man. I like to be comfortable on my bikes, but not as old that, you know, I'd completely switch to cruisers. So this is what is absolutely right for somebody like me. It's just nice, just so nice. So I'm in the eco mode, and even in the eco mode, I can't tell it's the eco mode. Like, the bike has everything, man. It has full power in the eco mode. Hey, dogs, don't fight. Okay, let's talk about the tractability of the engine, okay? So I told you that above 2000 everything is okay. So hazards on, first gear. See, it's riding at 10 on its own. Second gear. Riding at 18 on its own. Third gear. Riding at 23 on its own. It's not shutting off. And this is a quality that is there in my Triumph as well. It's got the torque is such that the motorcycle will keep chugging along. It doesn't shut. Not that anybody is ever going to do this. And then now see, we are at 1500 RPM. Let's go, baby. Arey kamal yaar, matlab the range of this motorcycle, and by range I mean the kind of riding it can do and the kind of people it will keep happy. Immense. And the seat is so, did I mention the seat? I think I did, but it is so big. Your rear end is going to be comfortable on this bike. Lovely. Like, I'm so happy that an Indian manufacturer was able to do this. So happy. Like, again, you know, it might just be the initial euphoria and enthusiasm around this motorcycle that I have, but to me this is the perfect motorcycle right now. Now this, you might say that, you know, this man is probably crazy, but if you put all the factors into perspective, 3 lakh rupee pricing or so, this might just be the best ADV in the world, pound for pound, you know, relatively speaking. Because look at the entry point and look at how accessible it's going to make ADV riding to everybody. Now you might say, oh, you know what, the old Himalayan made accessible ADV riding for everyone, and the X-Pulse did that, but they're not as capable as these bikes, man. At this bike, man, like, this bike can compete with bikes bigger than this segment when it comes to comfort and, you know, satisfaction. I can easily commute on this bike, yeah. This is so easy and stable, rock stable with the weight. Now you don't feel the weight, huh? You just don't feel the weight of this motorcycle. And 196 is not heavy. I'm used to the bloody Tiger, which is 275 with fuel. So this is very light. This is about 90 kilos lighter than my Triumph. 80 kilos lighter than my Triumph, and that is like a full ass adult, you know, my size. It's nimble, it is so light. I don't love it, yaar. So because of the weight, now the weight is contributing in 2 factors here. A, you don't feel the weight. You just do not feel the weight on this bike. And B, because of the weight, it's planted, man. Like, I was doing 150, 120, 130, 140, so super planted. Like, you feel that somebody might just mistake it to be a motorcycle from a bigger category. Maybe. It's good. It's really good. Oh, and it's a handler too. Like, sports bike for the road and dirt bike on the trails. And a touring gem. क्या torque है यार, मतलब amazing. I remember when I used to have the KTM 390 Adventure before the Tiger and before the X-Pulse. I had to wring the throttle of that bike, and then it would be very rewarding to ride. I'm not saying that's a bad bike. It's just a very different kind of motorcycle, and not the kind of motorcycle that I see myself riding today. So yeah, I'm in office now. Look at the turning radius. It is so easy and comfortable. Look at this. And the parking is already full. I don't understand, why do only people with motorcycles come to work in the morning? The car parking is always available, but not the motorcycle parking. And look at how easily I was able to put it here. Okay, All right. Oh, hey, we've done 250 kilometers, 500 kilometers. Now, look at the side stand on this bike, man. It just reminds me, it's exactly like the Tiger 1200. Look at it. It's a cast unit. It's not just a metal pipe. क्या करना है? हाँ, बड़े पे लगाऊंगा, अभी बड़े पे लगाऊंगा. So I'm going to put it on the main stand. Okay, I'll show you how. And it's extremely easy to put on the stand as well. So yeah, so beautiful bike. And yeah, I mean, that's the end of the video for now. I've reached work. Lovely tires. These work very well on the street and in the road. They stay planted. Serrated foot pegs with the rubber insert. I'm yet to take these off. I will be taking these off for off-road. Brake lever, again serrated, big wide chunky contact patch. I like it. And the accessories package, you know, on this bike, lovely screen, skid plate aluminium, radiator guard aluminium. You've got these lovely pannier stays, very top finish quality. This stainless steel rack, top finish, top quality. I mean, what more do you want, yaar? Touring mirrors, they don't vibrate at all. So beautiful. Yeah, I'm getting this bike. I want this motorcycle. I'm gonna get this motorcycle. This is going to replace my Tiger 1200. It's that good a bike. Okay, so I'm going to end this video now. We'll ride more, we'll talk more. Thank you so much for watching. This was my commute video, not in peak traffic. We'll do that later, but I came to work early, so yeah, this is the video. All right guys, bye bye.